Hello, welcome back. It is Friday afternoon and I want to say that I'm going to make this video and then I'm going to post it and we're gonna have one skipped day of Vlogtober. So I have been filming over the last few days, but I haven't really had the wherewithal or bandwidth to edit because I got a COVID vaccine booster at 11 a.m. yesterday, and it's just been downhill since then. I always forget that this vaccine takes me out for like 24 hours. I get the whole shebang, fever, chills, all the stuff. So I'm feeling much better right now, but I'm still really tired. So I'm gonna give you an update on the bathroom flood situation. To give you the update, I must say thank you to everybody who chimed in about the bathroom situation with the leak. It is quite serious. We are going through the necessary steps through our condo insurance and all that, and home insurance, to make sure that all of the I's are dotted and that the T's are crossed. Our condo insurance, our like home insurance, is really excellent, and hopefully will be taking care of a lot of the bulk of the financial inconvenience of this. But the update is that the damage from the water is actually quite extensive. We did have one of those assessors come out, you know, the cleanup people. I've actually a very reputable business come out and assess the water damage. They have one of those meters where they meter where everything is wet, and they have the cool like thing where they can take a picture and see like on a heat map where it's wet. It is the entire drywall for like that side of our unit, not the entire drywall, but like a lot of it wet. Up to like 2 feet in height. So there's a lot of drywall that's gonna have to be like ripped up. Not the entirety of the drywall, but like a lot of the drywall that's gonna have to be ripped up. The backing of the bathtub, the vanity, all of that baseboard stuff like throughout, and they're gonna check to see if I don't think there's water underneath the tile because there is concrete underneath the tile, but we're gonna double check just to make sure. And there is water damage, that like stain that I was pointing out the other day on the stairs. I was like, I don't know what that's all about. Yeah, that's water damage. Yeah, so that's fun and fresh, and we're gonna have to be dealing with that probably over the next couple of months, but at least we're aware of it, and hopefully it won't be too painful to deal with it, but that is just the fun and good times and unpredictability of home ownership. But the leak has stopped. That's good news number one. And we're having our first round of construction on Monday. Yes. And also thank you for those of you who were very pleasantly surprised about all of my like breaking out into song and dance. In the last video, I have been entrenched in Gershwin over this last couple of weeks, and it's kind of taken over my life. And I've been having a lot of fun. We've all been having a lot of fun. So it's over tomorrow, and I go back to different music tomorrow. But thank you. Oh, hi! Come here. Are you just coming because you're hungry? Maybe. You're always hungry. Anyway, I figured while we were catching up and recovering, we'll do a little like quick Q&A. I don't think I received a lot of Q's in my community post, but we'll chill and we'll answer a few questions. I got a little decaf here in my apple mug, and let's do, oh my gosh, Clover, please. All right, what's my current pink plant? Pink plant? I don't know if I have a current pink plant because I don't have that many pink plants. Actually, my current pink plant, if I'm gonna be honest, is like anything with a red back on it, which is not really pink, but my trio star here with the pink looking leaves, so good. Like, why would this not be my favorite? Look at this. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. It's funny how the leaves down here are like more pink. But this is it's pretty badass. And there was another question for K Daisy. That's me. If you could have a new species for Animal Crossing villagers or new additions, what would you do? Ooh, additions for Animal Crossing species. I think this was discussed earlier, and I do think that it would be really cute if there were bats. It would be really cute. Who are my favorite YouTubers for comfort? That is a good question. So who do I always watch for comfort? I always watch is, as far as like vlogs are concerned, I love Annika's Leaf, and I love Mikkel Jancy. I love her vlogs. They always bring me comfort. I love Allison Bicklesworth. I don't know if that's the name of her channel. Is that her name? Bickerstaff. Allison Bicklesworth. Who's Bicklesworth? And I love listening to Bailey Sarian. Even though she talks about stuff that's probably not comfortable, it's my comfort. She's my comfort. Like, podcaster, YouTuber. I love Bailey Sarian. I love her. She's like so fun. She's great to listen to. And she just, I don't know, I just love her. I just love her. So those are a few. I think I have a bunch, but those are like my top ones that I can think of right now. A lot of the comments were just like, I hope you feel better soon. Thank you so much. I hate the COVID booster. I know there's going to be some people in the comments be like, don't get a COVID booster. It's like, I'm going to get it. Okay. I got COVID in June and I 10 out of 10 do not recommend. It sucked. It wasn't like just a cold. It was all kinds of suck. And I'm gonna get a booster. I want to begin listening to opera, but I don't know where to start, especially opera in languages I don't speak. Are you fluent in languages singing? Okay, this is a multi-part question. If you are interested in listening to opera, I would start light, okay? So maybe this sounds silly, okay? But the reason I got into classical music was because I watched Bugs Bunny. I loved Bugs Bunny and Warner Brothers cartoons. I wanted to know what the music was in the background. And it was all like intentional classical style music. And What's Opera Doc, and there's a Barbara Seville short that really got me into opera. And if you actually listen to the background tracks from Bugs Bunny cartoons, I don't know how anyone got anything done because those seemed very difficult to play. But and it kind of gets you into like a word painting place. And some of the other things I recommend starting out with are things that like I guess are for children, but like it's a good way to like get into it without jumping into anything too serious, like Peter and the Wolf. Peter and the Wolf will give to you sort of an idea about musical motifs. And motifs are like a little tune. And in Peter and the Wolf, every character has their own motif. And this is a theme throughout opera and throughout like music in general. Even in like, if you are a gamer, if you play The Legend of Zelda, every character has their own musical motif. So I recommend starting in places that don't seem operatic. I would even start with watching ballet. Ballet will get you into a more like appreciative, welcoming music place. And then if you want to watch an opera, I would start with a Mozart opera, but maybe in English. I think there are so many opera companies that will do Mozart operas English translations so that it's more accessible to the general public. And after that, if you want to watch opera with subtitles, you can do that too. And as far as the second part, anyway, that's where I think more of the openings are. And if I'm going to be 100% honest with you, I was not an opera fan before I became an opera singer. Like, when I was in college and when I was in grad school, I was fully invested in the world of art songs and oratorio, meaning I wanted to stand in front. I wanted to be a concert artist. I never wanted to really be on opera stage. I never thought that that was a place for me. I never saw an entire opera all the way through until I was in one. So it's kind of a weird world to be in, but once you kind of are in there, you're like, I could do this. This is kind of fun. And now there are plenty of really good operas in English. And also, I would highly recommend just starting to watch more musical theater, because I feel like nowadays the line between opera and musical theater is like very wavy, if not non-existent. Both of the staged or unstaged full productions I'm doing this year and getting paid for are both traditionally considered musical theater, and I think that's weird. But I really enjoy it. Like, I'm gonna be in Carousel, but it's an opera company we're doing it. So the lines are getting... And as far as languages, I am not fluent in any other languages I sing. I can get around in speaking those languages. Like, I can probably ask where the bathroom is and like how much things are, and you know, where to find the bus and all that stuff. But I won't be able to have a full conversation with anyone in any of those languages except for maybe German. But that does mean I have to have a word-for-word translation in all of my music whenever I am working on something, and that is a lot more work. So maybe it would do me good to become fluent in a lot of those languages. You mentioned you were a theater kid. Did you do any acting, or was it mostly musical? I never did any straight acting aside from like the scenes between, like, let's get into song. So no, I just did musical theater, but never like any straight acting without any music involved, which is unfortunate. I think it would have been something I would have liked to explore, but I never did. I mean, I'm not dead yet, so it's not too late, but you know, I'm busy doing other things, so I don't know if it's gonna happen. Is Alarmo the Nintendo hardware release you were hoping for? It's not, but I kind of want it. At first I was like, Nintendo, what is this? A $99 alarm clock? What do you take me for? But then I saw like a video of it, and now I kind of want it. Wouldn't it be niche and fun? I might get it. I hate myself for getting it. What famous person from any walk of life in any time in history would you like to meet, and why? I honestly, no one talks about Kathleen Battle anymore, but I would like to meet Kathleen Battle. I know she's still around. She just did a concert. She just did like one of her comeback concerts. I would really like to talk with her. I'd love to talk with her because, so if you don't know, Kathleen Battle was a very, very, very famous opera singer in mostly in the 80s and 90s. She was like the pinnacle of her career. And what was remarkable about her was she was like a very famous Black opera singer, Black soprano, in a time where there weren't like a ton of famous Black sopranos, and she was one of the singers I looked up to, and sort of it made me feel like, oh my God, I could do it too. And the thing about Kathleen Battle that is so great for me is that she has a very similar voice type to mine, where it's light, it's not super loud. It's very delicate, and for a very light, delicate voice, I feel like it's really hard for me to give what a lot of people ask for. That's why when I take gigs, sometimes I very insistent on asking, will I be amplified? Because I like physically cannot fight a full orchestra if I'm not amplified in certain situations. And it's a voice like mine is probably, you know, it's great for Bach, where there'd be a big orchestra, and then when the singer would start singing, it would pare down to like one or two instruments, so that you wouldn't have to fight. And anyway, in saying that, I would love to talk with Kathleen Battle, because even back in the 80s and 90s, she had this very interesting reputation where that she was like a diva. And there was a very like notorious sort of parting of the ways with her and the Metropolitan Opera Company. And I want the tea on all of that. I need the tea on all of that. So I would love to talk with her about her situation and her experience with other individuals. I just want the tea. Was it hard for you to make the decision to pursue music? How did you get past the thought of it not being an accepted career, if it makes any sense? I know what you mean. How hard was it to decide? It was not, for me, it wasn't hard at all, really. So my parents are both physicians and probably would have preferred a career like that for me, but they noticed from a very young age that I was playing piano, singing, making up stuff, being very creative. And instead of kind of being like, oh, you should take the safe route, they were just like, well, just let her be her. And they never really encouraged me to do one thing or the other. And at one point I was thinking I should do something more practical, until my music theory teacher in high school, we were having a conversation in the hall after class. And I went to one of those like arts high schools. That's the only reason I had a music theory class in high school. And we were having a conversation after class, and I was talking about going to college. I was like, well, maybe I'll go to veterinary school. I don't know. And he said to me in my eye, like to my face, he said, if you don't go into music, you're crazy. It kind of sobered me up a little bit, because it was always what I wanted to do, but I was thinking in my life, I was like, oh, it's, only a very small amount of people are actually successful. Like, what am I doing? I don't think I'm that talented. But he kind of sobered me up saying that. And I was like, huh, okay. And then, I went to conservatory. Now, after conservatory, I quit and I didn't try after that. So, in favor of things that were more practical. And I think I finally broke through because I wasn't happy doing anything else, really. I didn't feel like myself doing anything else. I didn't feel right. It felt okay. I was able to get by. I did lots of other things, fine, but I wasn't giving my best unless I was doing something creative and doing something with music. So I just decided to give it my full thing, even if late. So I guess that's that story. What did you learn from the projects you didn't want to do, and how to make them easier and more accessible? What did I learn from the projects I didn't want to do? What kind of projects? I mean, what did I learn from anything I didn't want to do? I mean, if you're talking about like, as far as like career things I didn't want to do, or like organization projects I didn't want to do, or like anything I didn't want to do, like big thing I didn't want to do, you kind of learn about yourself. You learn either that you're capable of doing things that you dread and they're not as bad, or you learn that they are as bad and you never want to do them again. And you learn about yourself. You learn about where your boundaries are as far as things you can tolerate and get through, and things that it's probably best you avoid for the rest of your life. I think the main thing I learned is that you can do anything like one time, right? Is you can do anything like once, and either you do it again or you find a way not to. All right, I think that's it. I don't know how I'm gonna catch up for tomorrow. I just got out from rehearsal, and we have rehearsal tomorrow afternoon before the concert, which is wild, but that's the way we roll. And I only have like an hour in between or something. All right, I'm gonna go. Take care of yourselves and the ones around you. And like, do a dance. Do a dance if you can. Doing a dance always makes you feel better. It really does. Like if you're having a bad day, put some music on and do a dumb dance. It like tricks your body into thinking you're having a good time. It really does. So even better, if you have a Switch or like an Xbox or something, get Just Dance. We always make fun of that game when it's on like the Switch, the Nintendo Direct. We always kind of make fun of it because it has all that copyright music in it. It's good. Just Dance is good. It's like better than Prozac. All right, I gotta go. Have a good one.